Hey guys, so today we're gonna make a yummy treat for your guinea pig. So at the pet store, at my pet store they have a lot of yogurt treats and honey treats, and those aren't good for guinea pigs because the yogurt treats, guinea pigs are lactose intolerant. They're not even supposed to have yogurt. And honey treats, they're sticky and not very good for their teeth. So we're gonna make your own little treat for them. So it's their herb treat, and you can use basil, parsley, sunflower petals, or rose petals. And unfortunately, I don't have sunflower petals or rose petals at the moment, so I'm just going to show you guys with basil and parsley. So what you're going to need is a plastic sandwich bag. It depends on the size of the jar, how big the bag is. Your ingredients, which there's basil and the parsley, and a jar. You can use any kind of jar. I found these, so I stick with those. So you gotta rinse your ingredients so that they're nice and clean when you give them to your guinea pig, because you don't want to be giving him anything with pesticides that you buy in the store. Fortunately, mine are from the garden, so they're nice and clean. I still rinse them anyway. You want to wash your hands always so that your germs don't get all over their food. So let me do that. What you do first is, I don't have another empty jar like the one I have, so I'm just demonstrating with this. It has some kind of herb in it, but I'm going to use it anyway. I'm going to go for it. So you're going to set it there. I'm going to open the jar like so. And then you take your sandwich bag. Let me move this stuff back so you can actually see. And you're gonna go widen it. And what you're gonna do, I'm gonna tilt this so that you can see. You're gonna put it in there. Now this is kind of hard because I don't have an empty bag, so now that dried herb is gonna go. So it's gonna look like a nest, and you're going to tuck that extra part in. And normally it would be a bit different because there's nothing at the bottom, but I didn't have an empty one, so it looks like a nest. And if you can see, the bottom is plastic, so that's under there. And then that's a quick demonstration. So then you just close up the jar. Here's a jar I've been using. And I'll show you. Okay, so this stuff is all the nest. You can see it a bit clearer because there's nothing at the bottom. Now what you're going to do, so you're going to take your ingredients, which are basil. So basil's right here. They're like little leaves. There's one. Your parsley. And then after you rinse it, you want to make sure they're dry, because if you keep them somewhere and they're wet, they might start to mold. So I need to dry these off. I'm just going to really quickly do this. Okay. And one more thing I forgot to mention, you'll need a knife, and it depends on your countertop or your knife, how sharp your knife is, or your countertop. You may need a cutting board so that you don't get your counter all messed up. So make sure you have a clean space, by the way. And then, let me get my knife. So what you're going to do, big knife, You're gonna take all of them. Let me give you a better view. There we go, with the basil. And so, if you want the ends, that's fine, but I cut them off. And sometimes I add in the little stems, but I'm not going to. So, I cut them into pieces, because that's how my guinea pig likes it. So I do this, and then I just make them. You couldn't even rip them, actually. I ripped the last ones, but the knife gives a more even cut. And I wanted to use it. Oops, can't see that. There we go. I'm gonna explain everything right now. The reason I'm showing this is because of all that horrible treats they have in all of my pet stores. And guinea pigs can't have too much fresh food. Like they can, of course, but what you need to do is make sure you're also still giving them the hay and other dried foods too, because if they only eat fresh food, they're going to adjust to it and then they won't be able to eat that dry food. So you just want to, I just want to make this. And then at the end, what you do is you add you add some of the fresh fruit too, fresh herbs too, because guinea pigs like those too. And even though you're not supposed to give them too much fresh, you gotta balance it out, basically. So, you can see this. They're little chunks. It depends on the size of your guinea pig, how big you want them. Mine, sometimes what I do, so just kind of cut through them all. So let me do that. Because they're a bit big for my guinea pig. I need to cut them twice. So we're going to cut all of those. I've got smaller chunks now. So mine are like little petals. So you're going to do that with all your basil leaves. Of course, I only showed one because I don't want to waste time. Sorry about that. But you get the idea. So I'm just going to put this to the side. Okay. Now the parsley. I don't know about your guinea pig, but I think the parsley is my guinea pig's favorite herb. As like before, you don't need a knife. I'm not going to use a knife for this because it's parsley. It's not hard. So what you do, so my guinea pig really likes parsley, and then like last time, it's depending on the size what you do. So my guinea pig can eat it like this, but I like to separate them all. So they're like little things like that. So I'm just gonna, and I rip off the stems again. And then you basically, with the rose petals and sunflower petals, I didn't add rose petals to mine yet because I didn't have roses at the time, because they weren't growing yet. But then once they started growing, we went on vacation and nobody was watering them, so when we came back, our roses were kind of dead. So they're gonna be fine. And so I don't have any rose petals. I would add them, but of course I can't. So I just rip them as small as I can. Okay. So you just keep doing that, and so, with the sunflowers and the rose petals, you want to cut them the same as you cut the basil. And once again, the size of your guinea pig is how big you cut the petal. So, for my sunflower petals, they're dried.